So welcome, a very good evening. So in this video, we are going to solve our first solution of AIT exam 1, right? So in this video, I'm going to provide a video solution of all the question. So my name is Vivek and let's start with the today's session. In this, we are trying to solve all important questions, ठीक है? तो चलो करते हैं शुरू इसमें जितने भी important questions होंगे उन सबको हम लोग solve करेंगे देखेंगे कहाँ कहाँ तुम लोगों ने ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम फेस किया ठीक है तो स्टार्ट करते हैं आज का क्लास हम लोग So the first question is basically the zinc sulfate contain 22.65% of zinc and 43.9% of water of crystallization. If the law of constant proportion is true, then what is the weight of zinc required to produce 20 gram of crystal will be? So you have to calculate the weight of the zinc to require to produce 20 gram of the crystal. Now, according to the question, it is given that, right? That is 22.65% of zinc and 43.9% of water of crystallization, right? So let me solve this. So we can say that 100 gram of ZnSO4, right? That is zinc sulfate. So 100 gram of ZnSO4 crystal what amount of zinc we obtained. So in from the 100 gram of ZnSO4 crystal are obtained from, yes, are obtained, right? Are obtained from nothing but is equal to 22.65% of zinc. This is in question. So this is the given data, right? So if 100 gram of ZnSO4 crystal are obtained from 22.65% of zinc, then 1 gram for 1 gram, what is the value? Yes. So for 1 gram, the value comes out to be 22.65 divided by 100 gram of what? Of zinc. ठीक है? So in this question, they are asking for the 20 gram you have to calculate. So this is very simple question. ये तो stoichiometric वाला ही question हो गया है ना? So 22.65 upon 100 and multiply by 20. So this divided by 5, 5 upon 24 point something, right? So this comes out to be 4.53 gram. So which one is the correct option? Yes, that is option number B. So option B is absolutely correct for this question. So I hope this is uh, very much clear to all of you. सबको समझ आ गया? Good. Now move to the next question. So in the next question, the question is given that the abundance of isotopes that is 14 Fe and 56 Fe and 57 Fe are 5%, 90% and 5% respectively. The atomic masses of Fe. So you have to calculate the atomic masses of Fe. So we know that for the isotopes, what are the isotopes? Isotopes are those which having the same atomic number but they having the different mass number, right? So they are said to be isotopes, right? So let calculate the atomic weight. So we know that how to calculate the atomic weight. It's a very simple. Just multiply by its percentage or we say weightage by its atomic mass, right? So we know that in the first case, that is Fe54, they having 5%. So just multiply 5 into 54. Again, add the next is 90%. So 90 into 56. Again, beta, that is 5 into 57. And divided by what? So divided by 100, right? So that is total. That is 5%, 90% per 5% comes out to be 100. So on solving what you get is equal to 55.95 U. So this is a very, very simple question, right? So many of you did this question very correct. Okay. So which is the correct option, beta? That is the option number B. So option B is absolutely correct for this question. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. That is question number 3. So in question number 3, they are asking 2S3PO4 plus 3COS2 gives us Ca3PO4 twice plus 6H2O. Now you have to calculate the equivalent weight of S3PO4 in this reaction. So if you want to calculate the equivalent weight of S3PO4, how will you calculate this? So we know that equivalent weight is nothing, but that is equal to molecular mass upon what? Yes, molecular mass upon their N factor. This N factor either their basicity and acidity or okay. So, if the isotope distribution of C12 and C14 is 98% and 2% respectively, then the number of C14 atom in the 12 gram of carbon. So, you have to calculate this, right? So, this question is also from the isotope topic. So, let's find the solution for this. So, we know that what we know. So, we know that that is 1 mole of carbon, right? That is 1 mole of carbon. 1 mole of कार्बन contains ठीक है तो 1 mole of carbon contains Na molecules Na molecules so if the 1 mole of carbon contain Na molecule then obvious that is 40 gram of C14 right contain how much obviously so they contains Na means what? That is 6.023, 10 raised to the power 23 atoms. So, 1 gram of C14 is equal to 6.023, 10 raised to the power 23, that is Avogadro number divided by 40. On the similar basis, if someone asks, just like the question, that is a 12 gram of carbon, 14 atoms contain. So if the 1 gram of C14 contain this much, then the 12 gram of 14 contain how much beta? That is nothing but 6.023, 10 raised to the power 23 divided by 14 into 12. So on solving, what you will get? You will get 5.16 into 10 raised to the power 23. So this is the value what you get. Now you have to calculate only 2% of this. So now 2% of this is nothing but 5.16 into 10 raised to the power 23 of is 2%. That is 2 by 100. So on solving, the value comes out to be 1.032 10 raised to the power 22 atoms. So this is the required derivation. So which option is correct, beta? That is option number A. So option number A is absolutely correct for this, right? So I hope you understood this. इसमें कोई problem नहीं है किसी को भी सब समझ आ गया होगा कि कैसे solve करना है हमें इसको है ना ठीक है Okay, so this is how you can actually calculate the number of C14 atoms in the 12 gram of carbon. So I hope this is clear to you. चलो तो अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्या है सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है हम लोगों का जो दे रखा है दैट इज यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट द मॉलिक्यूलर फॉर्मूला ऑफ द कमर्शियल रेजिन used for exchanging ions in water softening is C8H7SO3Na, right? And molecular weight is also given. What would be the maximum uptake of calcium plus 2 ion by the resin when expressed in the mole per gram? So you have to calculate this value, right? So let's see how will you find the particular answer for this question. So this is also a very important question, right? So chalo isko solve karte hain. So we know that the molecular weight of resin is given, right? So the molecular mass of resin is given. How much beta? That is 206, right? That is gram per mole. So molecular mass of the resin is nothing but 20 gram per mole. Now, 1 gram of resin. So 1 gram of resin corresponds to 1 divided by 206 moles. So molecular mass is given, so 1 gram. So if you want to calculate the mole for the 1 gram, so mole is equal to mass upon molecular mass, so 1 upon 206 mole. Now 1 mole of calcium, 1 mole of calcium ion will display, or we say displace, will displace 2 mole of what? That is 2 mole of sodium ion. 2 mole of sodium ions. From where? So from resin. ये समझ आया? 1 mole of calcium ion will displace 2 mole of sodium ion from the resin. So 1 mole of resin contain 1 mole of sodium ion can uptake up to a 0.5 mole of calcium only, because we know that calcium having valency 2 and sodium having valency only 1. So 1 mole of calcium ion will displace 2 mole of sodium ion to form resin. So obviously that is the 1 mole of resin contains, right? So 1 mole of resin contains 1 mole of sodium, 1 mole of sodium and 0.5 mole of calcium ions. Calcium ions, right? So 0.5 moles of calcium ions. So we can easily calculate now. Hence 1 gram resin will uptake how much? So 1 gram resin will uptake nothing but 1 upon 206 into 0.5, or we say it comes out to be 1 upon 4112 moles. Okay? Moles of calcium ions. So which option is correct, beta? That is D. So D is absolutely correct for this question, right? Okay. Chalo. Now the next question is 0.9 gram of solid organic compound having molecular weight 90 containing CHO was heated with the oxygen corresponding to the volume 224 milliliter at STP. After the combustion, the total volume of the gases was 560 ml at STP. On treatment with KOH, the volume decreased to 112 ml. Determine the molecular formula of the compound. So you have to determine the molecular formula of the compound. So this one is also a very interesting question, that how will you determine the molecular formula of the compound. So we know that, let's start solving. So first of all, let me write the general equation for the combustion so that you can just know that how will you write the combustion equation. So let us assume if we have a x mole of H and this is Y and oxygen is represented at Z, and this is react with X plus Y by 4 minus Z by 2. So X plus Y by 4 minus Z by 2 mole of O2. So this will give X mole of CO2 plus Y by 2 mole of H2. So this is how will you remember the balance equation, right? Now, their value is given, that is 0.90 gram. And this is also given volume at STP, that is 20 to 24 ml at STP. Now we can calculate by putting the value, that is we know the molecular mass. If you know the molecular mass, then we can easily calculate, right? So molecular weight of the solid is given and mass is also given. So we can calculate the mole. So mole comes out to be 0.90 divided by 90. So it comes out to be 1 divided by 100 moles. So this is the number of moles. Now, after combustion, what we have? So after combustion. So after combustion, volume of O2 remained plus volume of CO2 is equal to. So after the combustion, volume of O2 remained. Okay. So after combustion, volume of O2 remained plus volume of CO2 is equal to 560. Okay. So volume of O2 remained plus volume of CO2 is nothing but is equal to 560. So how will you write this? So this is the volume of O2 remained means 224 minus 224 into mole, that is X plus Y by 4 minus Z by 2, right? Plus 224x is equal to 560. So let us consider as equation number 1. Also, we know from the question, also volume after passing, right? So volume after passing KOH. So volume after passing KOH is nothing but is equal to 112 ml. Okay? So also the volume after passing KOH is equal to 112 ml. So what is the volume of CO2 absorbed? So the volume of CO2, right, absorbed. So the volume of CO2 absorbed is equal to 560 minus 112. As simple as that. So it comes out to be 448 ml. Right. Now we can say that 224 x ml is equal to 448 ml. So from here you will calculate x. So x comes out to be 2. Right, this x comes out to be 2. Now you can just put the value in the equation number 1. So what you will get beta? So put x is equal x in 1, equation 1. So अगर हम x is equal to n, x is equal to क्या है? Value तो 2 आया ना, तो confuse मत होना. Put x is equal to 2 in equation 1. So if we put this, then what you will get? We'll get like 224 minus 224, that is 2, plus y by 4 minus z by 2 plus 224 into 2 is equal to 560. So on solving, what we get? We get like z by 2 minus y by 4 minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. So this is another important equation, or we can say that equation number 2 we have z by 2 minus y by 4 minus 1, right? Minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. Also, we know that the molecular weight of, right? Also, we know that the also molecular weight of CX HYOZ is 90. So this will become 12x 1y 16z is equal to 90. So we know the value of x. So this is y plus 16z is equal to 66. Right? So can you calculate the value from here? So this comes out to y plus 16z is equal to 66. So now from the values we know that y by 4, or we say z minus 2, z by 2 minus y by 4 is equal to 3 by 2. So what is 2z minus y is equal to 6. So just add this two equation. So what you will get? You will get like value of z, right? So from these two equation you get the value of z, so just add this. So y get cancelled and z value comes out to be, right? So what is the value of z from this equation? So on adding these two equation you get the value of z. So z is equal to 72 upon 18, that is 4. So z 4. Now putting the value of y, you also get y 2. So we know z and x also equal to 2. What is the formula? That is C2H2 and O4. So this is the formula what we have. So C2H2 and O4. So which one is correct? C2H2 and O4. Yeah, this is the first one. So option first is absolutely correct for this question. Now, the next question is, that is 38 ml mixture of CO2 and H2 was exploded with 31 ml of O2, and the volume after the explosion with 29 ml, which reduced to 12 ml when shaken with KOH. Find the percentage of CO and H2 in the mixture respectively. So in this question, what we have? So we have like CO plus half O2. So this will gives us CO2. Similarly, number of moles of X, right? So number of moles of X. So how will you write this? Can you write this, Vita? So in the terms of number of moles, we can say that if this is number of mole of X, this is X by 2 and this is again X. Okay. Similarly, for hydrogen H2 plus half O2, this will gives us H2. So their number of moles will be Y plus Y by 2 and this is Y. So this is the number of moles. Now, when the KOH was mixed, the volume decreased by the 17 ml. According to this question, when they are mixed, the volume decreased by the 17 ml. Right. So how will you find the volume of KOH? Volume of KOH is nothing but is equal to 17 or say X7. Okay. So left O2, left amount of O2 is equal to 12 ml. So this is equal to O2. Left amount of O2 is equal to 12 ml. So total oxygen present. So what is the total oxygen present? So total oxygen present is equal to 31 ml. So consumed oxygen. So number of oxygen which is consumed is equal to 31 minus 12, which is comes out to be 19 ml. So this is the total oxygen and the consumed oxygen we have. So we calculate the consumed oxygen that comes out to be 19 ml. So in the first reaction, right? So if you consider in the first reaction, so in the first reaction, consumed O2. So what is the consumed O2 beta? That is 17 by 2 ml, right? Similarly, in second reaction, what is consumed O2? So consumed O2 is nothing but is equal to 19 minus 70 by 2, right? Or we can say that it comes out to be 21 by 2 ml. Okay. तो ये कितना आ गया हम लोग का 21 by 2 ml. Or we say that this is equal to y by 2. So this is the value what we get. So the volume of H2 comes out to be, what is the volume? So the volume of H2 is nothing but 21 ml. So this is the volume of the H2 we have 20 ml. So let's calculate percentage first. So percentage of H2 is nothing but 21 upon 21 plus 17 into 100. So this is the percentage, comes out to be 52.26%. Similarly, the percentage of CO is nothing but 100 minus 50. There is a small correction. This is 55, right? 55. So 55.26. It comes out to be 44.73%. So out of which of the option is correct? 44.73. Yeah. So that is 44.73, right? So 44.55 and 44. 55 and 44, right? Option B. So option B is absolutely correct for this question. Now, move to the next question. That is question number 18. So basically in question number 18, what do we have to find? So in question number 8, we have to find a natural gas sample contain 84% by volume of CH4, 10% C2H6, 3% of C3H and 3% of N2. If the series of catalytic reaction could be used for converting all the carbon atom of the gas into a butadiene C4H6 with 100% efficiency, how much butadiene could be prepared from the 100 gram of the natural gas, right? So let's show that how will you find this value. So we all know that that is the volume present of a gas in a mixture is same as the mole present, right? So this always you remember. So 100 mole mixture, 100 mole mixtures. What do you mean by this terms? So this terms means 84% mole, or we say 84 of CH4, 10 ml of 10 ml of 10 ml of, that is 84CH4, 10 ml of C2H6, right? 3 ml of C3H8 and 3 ml of, or we say mole of N2, right? So this is what we have. So this is the 3 mole of N2 we have. So just solve this. So what you get? We get 84 into molecular mass of, this is 16 gram, right? Similarly, this is 10 and molecular mass is 30 gram. Similarly, this is 3 and this comes out to be C3H8, right? C3H8 means 44 gram. 44 gram. And this is nothing but 3 into 28 gram. So on solving, what the value you'll get? You'll get 1860 gram of natural gas. So this is the amount of natural gas we have. So amount of natural gas we have is equal to 86. This is 1860 gram. So this is the amount of what we have. Now, they are asking, you have to calculate, the efficiency, how much butadiene could be prepared from the 100 gram. So, the number of mole of carbon in 100 ml of mixture is equal to how much mole of carbon we have. So we know that the number of mole, that is the number of mole. Okay? The number of mole of carbon in 100 ml mixture. So in 100 ml mixture is what? That is 84 into 1 plus 10 into 2 plus 3 into 3, right? So this comes out to be 113 mole. 113 mole. Now, since 4 mole of carbon give, since 4 mole of carbon gives 1 mole, that is 54.9 gram of C4H6, right? C4H6. So 130 ml. This will give 113 divided by 4 into x. ठीक है? Into x. Or we say, not x, 133 into 4 multiply by 54 gram per mole. So this value comes out to be 1530 gram of C4H6. So this is the value of 1530 gram of C4H6. Now, in this question, they are asking you have to calculate for 1816 gram. So 1816 gram natural gas give 1530 gram C4H6 and 100 gram of natural gas, right? Natural gas. So this value comes out to be 100 divided by 1.86 into 1530. So this values on solving you'll get 82 gram. So which option is correct, beta? That is option number 3. So option B is absolutely correct for this. ठीक है? चलो. Move to the question number 9. So in question number 9, you have to calculate the P4O6 and what weight of P4O6 and P4O7 will be produced by the combustion of 2 gram of P4 in 2 gram of oxygen, leaving no P4 and O2 respectively. So you have to calculate this value and how much value this should be come. Okay. So just by calculating the formula, I guess most of you already know this value. So just by knowing the value, you can calculate this. So we'll solve this in a later part. Before this, let's start with this question. That is the 0.5 mole of BaCl2 is mixed with the 0.2 mole of Na3PO4. What is the maximum number of mole of Ba3PO4 twice that can be formed? Right. So you have to identify this. So let me write the reaction first for this question. That is BaCl2 plus 2Na3 and this is PO4. Okay. So this will gives Ba3 PO4 twice plus 6 NaCl. ठीक है, plus 6 NaCl. Now, it is very much clear from this equation that is the 3 mole of BaCl react with the 3 mole of balance the equation first 3 BaCl to 2 Na3Ba4 and this will right. So the 3 mole of BaCl2 3 moles of BaCl2 react with 2 moles of Na3PO4 to to give 1 mole of Ba3PO4 twice. Right. So the required ratio is what? So the required ratio is nothing but 3:2. That is the ratio between the BaCl2 to Na3PO4. This is the 3:2. Now, according to this question, that is 0.5 mole, right, of BaCl2. That is BaCl2. So 0.5 moles of BaCl2 requires so 0.5 moles of BaCl2 requires 2 by 3 into 0.5 mole, okay, of what? Of Na3PO4. You have only 0.2 mole of Na, so it is a limiting region, right? So we have only 0.2 mole of Na3PO4. Na3PO4. So it is a limiting. So it is limiting, right? So it is a limiting. So we know that the product depends only upon the limiting region. So use and only Na3PO4 only. So the 0.2 mole of Na3PO4 will give 0.1 mole of what? That is Ba3PO4 twice. So this is the answer. That is 0.1 mole. D. So D is the correct option for this. Okay. चलो. So I hope ये निकल गया सबका. हम्म. ठीक है. So let's see the next question. That is yeah. So a certain amount of metal whose equivalent weight is 28 displays 0.7 liter of hydrogen measured attentively from acid. Calculate the weight of the metal. So you have to calculate the weight of the metal, right? So let's calculate the weight of the metal. That what weight of the metal is comes out to be. Okay. So the question is basically in this question, what you have to calculate, right? So before this, I guess question number 11 we have, right? So question number 11 we have, when the BaBr2 is heated in the stream of chlorine, it is completely converted to BaCl2. From 1.50 gram of BaBr2, just 1.05 gram of BaCl2 is obtained. So you have to calculate the atomic weight of Ba by using this data, right? So you have to calculate the atomic weight by using this data only, right? So let's write this equation. So from this equation, it is very much clear that is BaBr2 react with Cl2 to form BaCl2 plus Br2. That is BaCl2 plus Br2. Now, moles of BaBr2, that is moles of BaBr2 is equal to moles of BaCl2. ठीक है. So moles of BaBr2 is equal to moles of BaCl2. What is the mole? That is 1.5 upon weight plus 160. We know that. And their weight is also given. That is 1.05 divided by weight plus 71. So on solving, right? So on solving, when you solve this value, what you'll get? You'll get a W comes out to be 136.67. So what is the weight of the BA? That is 136 point this. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. So how many moles or liters of SO2 taken as an NTP have to pass through the solution of SiO4 to reduce 16.9 gram of liter of HCl, right? So let me write the equation first so that you can understand this question. So SO2, when this react with SClO3, right? This is O3, this is SO2. So when the SO2 is react with SClO3, this will produce, what will this produce, beta? So this will produce HCl plus SO4, right? Okay. Now you have to calculate the volume of each of this, right? So here, we don't know the volume of this, but this value is given now. That is 16.9 gram. So this is 16.9 gram. And here the valency factor is what, beta? Valency factor is 2. But in this chlorine valency factor is 6, right? Because we know that now here the oxidation state is plus 4. Here the oxidation state is plus 6. So valency factor is 2, right? On the similar basis, if you try the calculate the valency factor of chlorine. Here the valency factor of chlorine is plus 5 and here is minus 2. So their value is 6. So we know the valency factor is 5 and 6. So from the principle of chemical equivalence, what we know? We know that the gram equivalent of SO2 is equal to gram equivalent of HClO3, or we say SO2 22.4 upon 2 is equal to 16.9 upon 84.5 by 6. So from this you calculate the volume of SO2, which comes out to be 13.44 liters. So which option is correct? That is C. So C is absolutely correct question for this, right? Now, equal volume of 0.1 molar AgNO3 and 0.2 molar NaCl are mixed. Now you have to find the concentration, right? So you have to find the concentration of NO3 negative ions in the mixture. So what is the concentration of NO3 negative ion in the concentration? So when the equal volume through solution are mixed, volume get double, right? And thus the concentration changes. The new concentration of nitrate ion in the mixture will be nothing but that is M by 2 only, right? So this will become 0.1 divided by 2. So we say 0.05. So this is it's a very simple question. Okay. Now, in this question, they are asking that is 10 ml of the sulfuric acid solution having a specific gravity 1.84 contains 98% by weight of pure acid. Now you have to calculate the volume of 2.5 normality NaOH solution required to just neutralize this acid, right? So how much? So let me write the reaction first. So that is H2SO4. When they react with NaOH, what they will form? They will form Na2SO4 plus H2. Their normality is given now 36.6 normality. This is 2.5 normality. So volume is also given, that is equal to 10 ml. But this volume cannot be given. इसी को तो find out करना है. ठीक है. तो चलो बात करते हैं. Again, by using the principle of equivalence, so we can say that that is milli equivalent of H2SO4. H2SO4 is equal to milli equivalent of NaOH. We can write. Chalo. So this comes out to be 36.8 into 10 is equal to 2.5 into V. Just calculate V from this. So you'll get 147.2 ml. So this is the correct answer. That is A. So 1.47. साया सबको समझ में ठीक है. सो ये तो क्वेश्चन तो बहुत सिंपल है, तुम लोग आराम से कर चुके होगे. calculate the molality aqueous solution urea which has the mole fraction of 0.2. So directly relation hai. So there is a direct relationship between the mole fraction of urea and molality. So by using the formula you can easily calculate this. So these two questions are very easy. So you can easily calculate the density and the molality using the formula, right? So try to solve this question. Chalo. The next question is 0.5 gram of fuming H2SO4 oleum is dilute with water. The solution is completely neutralized by the 26.7 ml of 0.4 normality NaOH. What is the percentage free of SO3 in the sample? So you have to calculate the percentage free, right? So what amount of percentage free you have? So considering the concentration of NaOH, so this question is important, right? So given that the considering the concentration of NaOH to be 0.4 normality, what is the number of gram equivalent? So number of gram equivalent of NaOH. So this is equal to nothing but 10.4 into 26.7 divided by 100. Oh, sorry, 1000. So we get 0.01068. So this is the number of gram equivalent of the NaOH. Now on the similar basis, number of gram equivalent of H2SO4. So number of gram equivalent weight of H2SO4. So this also comes out to be 0.01068, right? Because H2SO4 and these all are same. So number of moles of H2O. Can anyone calculate number of moles of H2SO4? Hmm? So we can calculate now. That is number of equivalent, that is 0.01068 upon n factor, that is 2. So this comes out to be 5.34 into 10 raised to the power 3. So this is the number of mole of H2SO4. So amount of H2SO4 is equal to this. So you have to, if you get the number of moles and you know the molecular mass, so I hope you easily calculate this, right? So how will you calculate the amount of H2SO4, beta? So amount of H2SO4 is nothing but 5.34, just calculated, है ना? Into what? That is equivalent molarity of H2, that is H2SO4. So on solving, what you'll get? You'll get 0.52332 gram. So this is the amount of H2SO4 we have. Let the amount of SO3 will be the X gram. So let us assume that amount of let the amount of SO3 be X gram. ठीक है? So let the amount of SO3 be X gram. So what is the amount of H2SO4 then? So the amount of H2SO4 is nothing but 0.5 minus X gram, right? So we have from the equation, that is oleum is made up of SO3 plus H2, right? So this how you can make oleum, that is H2, S2 and O7. Okay. So assume this is to be X gram, SO3 to be X gram. So how will you calculate this value? Basically, the X gram of SO3 will be, let me solve here. So X gram of SO3 will have how much? That is 98 divided by 80 gram. ठीक है? 98 x divided by 80 gram. So this comes out to be 1.225 x gram of H2SO4. So this value comes out to be, right? Now, what is total? So if you want to calculate the total amount of H2SO4, then how will you calculate, beta? That is H2SO, concentration of H2SO4 in terms of SO3, in terms of SO3 plus H2SO4 concentration. Okay. So just put the value here. So it's equal to 1.225x plus 0.5 minus x. So this comes out to be 0.5233 gram. Okay. So from this value, you can we know the value of this, that is 0.0 that is 0.225. So on solving, what you'll get, x is equal to 0.10364 gram. So this is the value of x, or we say this is the value of SO3 what we have. So percentage free of SO3. So what is the percentage free? So percentage free of SO3 is amount of SO3 divided by 0.5 into 100. So let's put the value, that is 0.10364 gram, 0.5 into 100. So the value comes out to be 20.72 percentage. So this is the correct answer, 20.72 percentage. Like, yeah, that is option C. So this is nearest to option C. So this is the correct answer for this question. So I hope this is clear. Now move to the next question. That is 1 mole of chlorine combined with the certain weight of the metal giving 111 gram of its chloride. Right. Now the same amount of metal can be displaced 2 gram of hydrogen from an acid. The atomic weight of the metal is. So you have to calculate. So 1 mole of chlorine. We know that 1 mole of chlorine is equal to molecular mass. So 1 mole of chlorine is equal to 71 gram, right? So 1 mole of chlorine is equal to 71 gram. Now we know that the molecular mass of MCl2 is equal to again 1 gram, already given. So this is M plus 71, which is equal to 111 gram. So you can calculate M. M comes out to be 40. M comes out to be 40. Now 2 gram of S2 displaced by the 40 gram of metal, then 1 gram of S2 displaced by, right, it's the 2 gram of H2 is displaced by 40. तो 1 gram कितना करेगा? That is 40 by 2. This is equal to 20. So the correct answer for this question is 20. So we try to solve all question related to this. So this video अभी बहुत लंबा वीडियो हो रहा है, थोड़ा सा टाइम ज्यादा हो गया इस वीडियो का. सो हमने ट्राई किया जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन हम लोग इसमें सॉल्व कर सकते थे, हम लोगों ने सॉल्व किया. ठीक है. सो ट्राई टू सॉल्व अगेन दिस क्वेश्चन, ट्राई टू लर्न फ्रॉम दिस अगेन and again try to solve such questions to know and develop a good problem solving skills, right? So take care till we end the session. यहाँ पे एंड करते हैं सेशन को, नेक्स्ट में मिलते हैं, फिर वहां से हम लोग उसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे, राइट?